Welcome to yoga, everyone. My name is Ashley, and today we are doing a challenging class. Yoga to Find Inner Strength is what I've titled this class, and we're focusing a lot on our arms and on our core. And so this is going to be an intermediate style practice, so please be careful and please skip things that you don't feel ready for yet or that don't feel right for you today. I wanted to start with a quote by the Dalai Lama, who said, "It is worth remembering that the time of greatest gain in terms of wisdom and inner strength is often that of the greatest difficulty." And so then I kind of wrote a bit on this, and I said, arm balances are often some of the hardest postures for yoga practitioners, but don't let it discourage you. Let them be a pathway toward finding strength from within. Deep inside, there's a reservoir of strength within every one of us, and we can use yoga arm balances as a way to teach us how to tap into this reservoir so that we may be able to tap into it when we need it most, not just in our yoga practice, but outside of it as well. So, with all that being said, let's go ahead and practice. Feel free to close your eyes or gaze at a point out in front of you. Connect to your natural breath. Just take a moment here to check in with yourself, becoming aware of how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually. And notice how all of these aspects of yourself might affect the others and how they can affect your practice as well. As a way of stepping into our practice, feel free to join your palms in front of your heart or rest your hands on your thighs and sing one round of Om. You may also choose to do a long exhale instead. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Release your hands, open your eyes. Please begin on your hands and knees, all fours. And then when you get to your hands and knees, turn your hands around backwards. And for those of you who are listening after the fact, watching after the fact, there will be a playlist link in the description. With your hands turned around backwards about 180 degrees or in that direction, you can walk your knees back for more wrist stretch or forward for more wrist stretch or less wrist stretch. And then from here, round your spine just a little bit, press your tailbone forward, chin toward your chest, as if you're doing cat pose. It's a variation on cat. Do tone your abdominal muscles. Wake them up here. Get them ready for what's to come. Come back to a neutral spine. Keep your hands as they are. Take your right leg straight back behind you, parallel to the floor. Point your toes and kneecaps straight down. Try to prevent your back from hammocking toward the floor and keep your ribs moving back toward your spine to keep your spine straight and your abs toned. We call this Southpaw Tiger. Lower your knee to the floor. Reach your left leg straight back. Tone your abdomen. Point toes and kneecaps straight down. Move your ribs back, tailbone toward your heel, and keep your breath breathing. Lower your knee. Turn your hands around to be straight ahead. Knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. Round your spine, tailbone through your legs, chin toward your chest for cat pose, and hold here. Do keep breathing. And on your inhale, next inhale, lengthen your spine, move your shoulders back, lift up through your sternum, lift your sitting bones, lift your chin, and hold, but don't hold your breath. Next, exhale, round your spine. Again, holding the posture, keep your breath breathing. Next inhale, lengthen. Hold. Last time, each one, round your spine. Next inhale, lengthen. Cow pose, last time. Come back to neutral in your spine. Walk your knees back a few inches, curl your toes under, lift your knees up for downward dog. Feel free to bend your knees to start, especially in your first downward dog, just to warm up the backs of your legs. Feel free to work your legs toward straight as you reach your heels toward the floor. Push hands down and forward, feet down and back. Bring particular attention into your finger pads today. It's very important to push down through all four corners of your palm, and even lift the center of your palm by squeezing your ring fingers and thumb toward each other. Do your best not to lift up your first finger knuckle anytime your hands touch the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana, going from plank pose, lower halfway down, bottom of a push-up, and then upward facing dog. Straighten your arms, push your hips forward, move your shoulders back, lift up through your sternum. Then press back, downward facing dog. If at any time you start to feel like your wrists are tired, you can take your forearms to the floor and do the following. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Bend your left knee so your right shin comes closer to your chest, and then let your head drop, relax your neck. So again, you can be either in dolphin arms or downward dog arms. Uncross your legs, switch the cross so your left ankle is on top of your right knee. Bend your right knee, set your hips way back. Keep lengthening your sternum forward, but let your head drop. Relax your neck and jaw. Lower your foot, lower your knees to the floor, then walk your hands back to your knees. Curl your toes under, lift your knees up. Push your heels down to come into a forward fold, standing up on your feet. Walk your hands back to surround your feet. Feel free to keep your knees bent so your ribs and thighs touch. Then inhale, lengthen your spine, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up, reach your arms all the way up over your head. Exhale, palms in front of your chest. Take your arms straight up over your head, then step your right foot a giant step forward toward the front of your mat. Lower your hands inside your right foot, and then spin your back heel to the floor. Make sure your heels are in the same line. Then walk your hands forward and to the left for dog lunge. Just a slightly different entrance than we usually do. Widen right knee to the right as you push your back foot down and toward the wall at your right as well. Swing your hips slightly to your left. Walk your hands back to surround your right foot. Then step your back foot in one step. Turn your left toe sharply forward and to your left, and then work your right leg almost straight or always all the way straight as you draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Parshvottanasana, fold heart first, head last, face toward your shin. Feel free to walk your arms forward, pushing down and forward, or walk your hands back so your hands are under your hips and push your hands down and forward. Breathe here. Keep your abdomen toned, pulling in toward your spine. Next inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Place your hands under your shoulders. Revolve Triangle, take left hand either inside or outside your right foot. Right hand to right hip or palm flat on your sacrum. Keep pushing right hip back, left hip forward as you twist your torso to the right. Do your best to stack your shoulders. Maybe lift your right arm, stack your wrists, palm pointing off to the right. Move your right armpit back. Keep your belly toned, ribs moving toward your spine, and breathe. Lower your hand. Press back, downward dog, and then walk your hands to your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Place hands on hips, shoulders back, slowly stand up. Reach your arms all the way up. Then step your left leg way out in front of you. Dog lunge, lower your hands to the floor, spin your right heel to the floor. Then walk your hands forward and to your right. More weight in your feet. Widen left knee to the left, push right foot to the left, then swing your hips slightly to the right. Let your head hang, let your armpits lift. Walk your hands back to surround your left foot. Step your right foot in one step. Turn your right toe sharply forward. Work your left leg almost straight or all the way straight. Move left hip back, right hip forward. Lengthen your spine. And on your exhale, fold forward, heart first, head last, face toward your shins. Again, either walk your hands forward, push your hands forward, or walk your hands back and push your hands forward. Tone your abdomen as you round your spine to take forehead toward your knee. Keep your core muscles strong. Next inhale, lengthen your spine. Right hand either inside or outside your left foot. Left hand to left hip or palm flat on your sacrum. Draw left hip back, right hip forward as you twist your torso to the left. Be as sideways as possible. Maybe lift your left arm, palm pointing off to the left. Move your shoulders back, lift your sternum, lift your chin, and don't hold your breath. Downward facing dog. Walk your hands to your feet. Lengthen your spine, bend your knees, hands to hips, slowly stand up. Then turn to face the long edge of your mat. Come to the middle of your mat. Then bring your arms up over your head. Interlace fingers, extend pointer finger, cross your thumbs, reach tall. Lean your hips to your left, torso to your right. I'm not mirroring. Push inner edges of your feet down, lengthen your spine, lift especially the bottom part of your torso, so your right side, away from your right hip. Keep lengthening your right side just as much as you lengthen the left side, pushing your hips as much to the left as you lean your torso to the right. Inhale, come back up. Maybe switch the clasp of your fingers. Lean your hips to your right, torso to your left. Push through your inner feet evenly as you lengthen the sides of your body longer. And don't hold your breath. Inhale, come back up. Lower your hands, then behind your back, interlace your fingers. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other and work your arms toward straight. Bend your knees, set your thighs back, hips so they're parallel to the floor. And then tone your abdomen around your back, bring forehead toward your knees. Shoulders moving away from the floor as you take your head closer to your knees and your hips closer to parallel. And breathe. Next time you inhale, slowly stand up. Reach your arms over your head. Exhale, bend your knees, place your hands on your thighs. Take your left arm up, again, not mirroring. Lean your torso to your right, and then twist. Take your left armpit outside your right thigh. Get as deep as you can in your twist, and maybe join your palms. You can stay working here, try to get thighs parallel to the floor, lifting through your sternum, and move your shoulders back. Maybe stay, or we're going right into an arm balance here and now. Take left hand to the floor, right arm to the right, shoulder distance. Lean into your hands, shift your weight into the middle of your arms. Walk your feet back behind your left wrist, and then do or don't bend your elbows like Chaturanga, pull your body weight forward. Do or don't lift one or both feet. Push your right outer leg into your left elbow to lift your hips. Sideways crow, Parshva Bakasana. Lower your feet, Walk your hands back to middle. Stand up. Just getting right at it today. All right. Bend your knees. Take your right arm up. Lean to your left. Twist. Take armpit close to outer thigh. Get as deep as you can. Join your palms. Set your hips way back. Lift up through your sternum. Take a couple of breaths. Then right hand to the floor. Left arm to the left shoulder distance. Shift your weight between your hands. Walk your feet behind your right hand. Then keep your chin lifting. Bend your elbows. Reach your heart forward. Pull your heels toward your hips. Push your outer left thigh into your right elbow. And don't hold your breath. Slowly lower your feet. Come back up. Stand up. Turn to face forward. Interlace your fingers behind your back, non-dominant clasp. Move your shoulder blades toward each other. Work your arms towards straight. Bend your knees just a tiny bit. Then push your hips forward. Then push your heels down, straighten your legs, lift up through your sternum. Pull your shoulders back, throat back, head back. Standing camel variation. Inhale, stand up. Reach your arms up. And then wrap your right arm under your left arm. Either hold shoulders, join backs of hands, or palms. Pull elbows forward and down as you lift up through your sternum. Bend your knees. Set your weight into your heels. Cross right knee over left knee. Squeeze shin to shin, ankle to ankle. Maybe hook your right foot behind your calf. Keep your gaze steady and your jaw soft. Keep your arms bound. Unbind your right leg. Kick your right leg towards straight back behind you. Torso and leg toward parallel to the floor. Push strength through your left leg. Tone your standing thigh. Lift your kneecap. Try to keep right toes and kneecap pointing down. Pull your ribs away from the floor. Belly to spine. Unbind your arms as you pull your right knee in and try kicking your right leg forward as you reach your arms up. Hold. Palms in front of your heart, lower your foot. Very good. All right, take your arms out. Then cross left arm under. And then bend your knees. Left leg over. Squeeze knee to knee. Ankle, ankle. Lean back towards your standing heel. Lift up through your sternum. Pull elbows towards your belly button. And keep your breath slow and even as best as you can. Virabhadrasana 3 variation. Unbind your legs. Kick your left leg towards straight back behind you. Maybe straighten your right leg. Tone your thigh. Lift your kneecap. Torso and leg parallel to the floor. Tone your abdomen. Ribs back. Reach your left leg longer. Inhale, stand up. Reach your arms up as you extend your left leg out in front of you. See if you can not fall. It's hard. Bend your knee, lower your hands in front of your heart. Mountain pose, arms by your side. Take a moment, deep breath in. Exhale completely. Then turn to face the long edge of your mat again. Bring fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or jump feet wide, arms wide. From here, take hands on hips, tone thighs, lift kneecaps, lean hips back, torso forward. Take hands underneath your shoulders. From here, you can stay arms straight, lengthen spine, or walk your hands back even further. Tone your abdomen, move ribs back, sternum forward. Bend elbows, reach heart first, head last, in between your legs. Move shoulders away from the floor, and then back toward the back plane of your body. Push through your inner and outer feet equally. Next inhale, lengthen your spine halfway. Place hands on hips. Move shoulder blades on your back. and slowly stand up. Take arms wide to the side for Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Turn your right toes out. Bend right knee directly above your right ankle. Widen right knee to the right. Push through your back foot, especially the outer edge. Reach through your fingertips. Move your ribs back. Extend length on the sides of your body. Lift your torso taller. Tone your abdomen. Pull everything in toward the midline of your body. Straighten your right leg. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Bend your left knee, Virabhadrasana 2. Widen left knee to the left. Reach arms longer. Push more through your back foot. So I tried to sequence this so that you'd have breaks in between your arm balances. Straighten your left leg. Turn your toes in. Bring fingertips in front of your chest. Bend your knees. Step or jump feet together. Arms by your side. Come into downward facing dog, facing the front of your mat. Bring your feet together. Then shift forward to the top of a push-up. Lower halfway down, Chaturanga. Then lower all the way to your belly. All right, Locust poses, Shalabhasana 1 and 2. Take your arms alongside your torso. Close your fingers, point your palms up. Lift and lower your legs one at a time away from the floor. And then push the tops of your feet into the floor so your knees lift up. Push hands down so your shoulders lift up. Push hips down, lift your torso. Press your head back, lift your chin, slightly look forward. And don't hold your breath. Keep moving shoulders away from the floor, resist gravity. Without bending your knees, lift your legs, lift your arms. Squeeze thumbs in, ankles in. Toes and kneecaps point straight down. So here you're working the backs of your arms as well, not just your back muscles. Lower down, rest, take a breather. Take your arms alongside your torso. Close your fingers, point your palms up. Just like last time, but lift everything off the floor at once. Lift everything up. Now take your arms out to the sides, like airplane arms, palms pointing down. Then rotate your shoulders up so your palms point in, and bring your arms forward. Superhero. Reach arms longer, legs longer. Maybe join your palms, join your ankles. Keep breathing. Reach arms back, palms down. Reach arms back, palms up. Lower all the way down. Rest. Good job. Okay, here's our next weird one. We got Nakrasana with a N as in Nancy. So go all the way back as far as you can on your mat until you hit a wall or something, so you have space out in front of you. Your first option, let's just do the first one, just for kicks. So you're gonna lift everything, including your hands off the floor, except for your hips, and then lower your hands and your feet, curled toes under, push up to Chaturanga. Lower back down, lift hands and feet. Lower your feet and hands, lift your hips, Chaturanga. Do that a couple more times, or 0 more times. I was trying this earlier, and I was surprised at how hard it is now that I don't practice it anymore. All right, come down onto your belly, rest for a moment. All right, so this next one is a hop. The name of the game is to hop forward 3 times and then hop backward 3 times. I'm gonna let you hop forward as many times and backward as many times as you'd like. That might be 1 time today, and that's fine. Take your hands next to your chest like Chaturanga arms. Curl your toes under. Say a little prayer. Push your hands down, feet down, lift your knees up. Push hands and feet down, lift up to Chaturanga and try to hop forward. I'm telling you, I'm not very pretty about it, and that's fine. You can lift and lower, or you can actually lift your hands and your feet up with you. So obviously I am doing the crawling version, and that's okay. And when you're done, rest. Thanks for coming. Thanks for practicing. Okay, child's pose. Take your knees wide, big toes together, forehead, tip of nose on the floor, reach your arms out in front of you. Take a deep breath. Place your hands next to your ears. Move your shoulder blades on your back, lift your chin and sit up. Cross your right shin on top of your left calf like you're going into calf smashing, and then squeeze your knees toward each other as you sit back on your heels. So this can be kind of nice. You can stay like this. Or place your hands outside your thighs, halfway between your knees and feet. Push your hands down, round your spine like a Halloween cat. Take a deep breath. And on your exhale, push your feet down to lift your hips up. Push your hands down too. Then lower your hips to the floor. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Exhale, lift everything, including your feet, off the floor and try to hold as long as you can. And then lower down. It might have been a millimeter, millisecond, and that's okay. That's great. All right, shift forward. Switch the cross. Left shin on top of right shin. Again, you might stay here. Just do the calf smash. Totally fine. Or take your hands outside your thighs, halfway between knees and feet. Full breath in. Then as you exhale, push hands and feet down to lift your hips up. Then lower your hips. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Exhale, maybe lift everything. Maybe swing. And then lower down when you're ready. All right, let's go on to our backs. Then take your right ankle on top of your left knee. Clamp your heel toward your hip, widen your right knee to the right, and pull your legs toward your torso for Sukiran Drasana. Nice little palate cleanser. Feel free to rock side to side. Take slow, steady breaths. If your breath became erratic, just focus on slower, deeper, even more even breaths, so that your breath is maybe 5 to 8 counts in, 5 to 8 counts out. Let go of your shin. Unhook your foot. Cross left ankle over your right knee. Then pull your legs toward your sternum. Interlace fingers around right thigh or shin and draw your legs towards you. I got the idea for this class in the back of Light on Yoga. I don't know why it's there, but it's for arms and abdominal organs and it's in the yoga poses for various disease section. You'd laugh if you saw what poses he actually wanted us to do. We're not going to do. All right. Let go of your shin. Lower your foot to the floor. You can either roll to your side to sit up or rock back to rock forward to sit up, and then come back to a downward dog. Push your arms longer, legs longer. Maybe take your heels to the floor. Then look forward, walk your feet in about a step each. Bring your feet together. And then walk your feet in again, A little bit more. And try to walk your feet in until your arms are more straight up and down. Your feet will still be a little behind you. Stay working here. Push your hands down, round your upper back a lot, and then lift your right leg high. Don't worry, we're not going into a handstand or anything. This is good prep for one though. Bend your left knee, then straighten your left leg. Then bend your left knee, then straighten. One more bend, and straighten. And lower your foot to the floor. Lift your left leg up. Bend your right knee. Straighten. Bend. Straighten. Bend. And straighten. Lower your foot. Walk your feet back out. Take your knees to the floor. And take your forearms to the floor. Interlace your fingers and cross your bottom pinky finger inside your palm so you're not squishing it. And then walk your knees back a few inches. Push your elbows and wrists down evenly. Move your armpits back toward the ceiling. And then reach your sternum forward. You can hang out on your knees or curl your toes under. Lift your knees off the floor. Move your rib cage back and then walk your feet in. Try to get your hips more perpendicular to the floor or hips above your shoulders. Then try to keep your gaze forward. There's like the tiniest spider on my mat. I'm not very afraid of it though. All right, walk your feet out. Lower your knee. All right, next, come onto your belly. Once you're on your belly, bend your knees, reach back, grab the outer edges of your feet with your hands. Walk your knees in toward each other a little bit, and then let your heels go about as wide as your hips. Now push your feet into your hands, move your shoulders back, and then lift your torso up by pushing your feet back more. You can choose to keep your knees down or push your knees up to lift your legs higher. Maybe rock forward and back or just stay still. Do whatever feels better. This can be nice after arm stuff to help stretch the front of your chest. And lower down. Rest. So, come up to all fours, hands and knees. Right. Now, turn your hands around backwards like you did at the very beginning. You choose whether you take your hands like 2 inches apart or together. Together is harder, just FYI. And then walk your knees to surround your hands. Round your back a lot like Halloween cat. Bend your elbows and try to get your elbows about level with your belly button. And then take the top or the crown of your head to the floor. Push like you're trying to push your nose toward the floor to keep a curve in the back of your neck. Push hands down strongly, and then walk your knees back. Curl your toes under. Lift your hips up, round your spine, and then lower your belly onto your elbows. Walk your feet back, maybe point your toes. Push hands down, feet down, maybe lift your head. Stay working here. Or, if you feel ready and able, you may pull your body weight forward and lift your feet off the floor. If your chin comes to the floor, that's okay. I haven't done that one in a while. But yeah, you might fall, and it's all good. Good job. The doggy tried it. All right, next, lie back down on your back. We're getting close to cooling down. It's gonna be great. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Take your arms out like cactus arms. And then drop your knees to one side. Lift them back up. Drop your knees to the other side. Lift them back up. And go back and forth. Take deep breaths. Again, slow your heart rate if it's quickening. If your wrists are bothering, you can also do wrist circles. All right, take your elbows in towards your torso. Then one at a time, walk your shoulders underneath you so the backs of your shoulders push down and your upper back spine lifts up. Place your feet on the floor hip distance. Push head, shoulders, feet down. Lift your hips for bridge pose. C2 Bandhasana. Feel free to grab onto the outer edges of your mat or interlace fingers underneath your hips as long as your wrists can come back down. Push your head, shoulders, feet down. Lift hips, chest, and chin. Push more through your inner feet. Lift more through your outer hips. Release your hands. Lower your hips. Press knees together, feet wide, hands wherever comfortable, either on your torso or by your side. This is the part in class where I'm like, what was I thinking? But, you know, we're all in this together, which is great. All right. You choose whether you do bridge pose again or just rest or full wheel. Place your feet on the floor, hip distance, point your toes straight ahead. One at a time, place your hands by your ears. Take your hands a little wider than you think, maybe about as wide as your mat. Then push hands and feet down to flip to the top of your head. Now on the top of your head, push your feet down and away from your head. Move your shoulders up and back. And then maybe roll toward your nose. Maybe push your arms straight. Maybe walk your feet in. Keep pushing more through your inner feet, lifting more through your outer hips, and suck your armpits back. Really engage your upper, outer back muscles. Slowly lower all the way down and rest. Knees together, feet wide. Take deep breaths. Windshield wipers. Let your knees go side to side. Then roll to one side. Sit up. Awesome. All right. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're done with the arm balances. That's cool. Take your legs straight in front of you. I see all smiles on the other side. All right, take your left knee to your left. And then rotate your inner thighs down, outer hips up on both legs. Turn toward your right leg. Then grab shin, ankle, or foot with one or both hands. You can use this to stretch your outer armpit by widening your left elbow out to the left as you bend your elbow and pull yourself forward. And then you can keep that just to keep that stretch in your outer armpit area. Or once you're folded, you can drop your elbow to the floor. Maybe grab, if you only have one hand on your foot, and grab the other outer edge with your other hand. On your next inhale, lengthen your spine. Keep your legs as they are as you sit up. Then turn towards your left knee, right hand to your left knee, left arm up. Point your palm to the right and then slightly lean to your right. You can stay this way or place your right hand inside your leg, maybe lower your forearm. Some of you might be able to take your entire right side to your right thigh. Wherever you're going to go for it. If you're grabbing your outer right foot, it's left hand to outer foot and right hand to inner foot, or bottom hand to inner foot, top hand to outer foot. And lean a little bit more back into your right hip and then twist a little more to your left. So after all of that core and arm work, we get to now stretch those muscles out. Make them feel really nice and jelly-like. Next inhale, slowly sit up. Keep the length in your spine. Extend your left leg forward. Take your right knee to the right. Janu Shirshasana. Turn over to your left leg. Grab shin, ankle, or foot. Lengthen your spine. Again, for more armpit stretch. Widen right elbow to the right. And then pull yourself forward. Always feel free to bend your straight leg for more support under your torso. Maybe drop your right elbow to the floor, but keep pushing through your right elbow forward. And maybe grab the outer edge of your foot with your left hand. Forehead toward your knee. Next, inhale, lengthen. Slowly sit up. Turn towards your right knee. Take right hand behind you, left hand to your right thigh, and twist. Keep the twist. Take your right arm up, and then over to your left. Again, feel free to drop your left hand or forearm inside your leg, or take your entire left side to your thigh. If you're grabbing your foot, right hand to outer edge, left hand to inner edge. Tone and turn your abdomen toward the ceiling as you twist to the right. Keep your chin lifted, your breath even. And focus on guiding your breath into the places that feel like they need it more. Next, inhale, slowly sit back up. Stay long in your spine. And kick your right leg forward. Then come onto your hands and knees for Revolved Child's pose. Take your right arm up to the right. Then swing your right arm under your left arm. Bring your shoulder and ear to the floor. Shrug your right shoulder back, pulling your arm towards you. Maybe walk your left hand forward and to the right. Push your left arm away from you. And then just slightly squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other. Square your hips, push left hip back, right hip forward. Walk your right hand back. Untwist, reach your right arm all the way up. Lower your hand to the floor. Lift your left arm all the way up to the left. Swing your left arm under your right. Shoulder and ear to the floor. Maybe walk your right hand forward into your left. Push your arm straighter. Pull your left arm towards you. Right hip back, left hip forward. Walk your right hand back. Untwist, reach your left arm up. Lower your hand to the floor. And then come all the way down onto your belly again. Take your left arm straight off to the left, palm flat, arm in line with your shoulder. Push your hand down so your armpit moves up. And then roll onto your outer left hip. Scoot your hips slightly forward so your hips stack a little bit more. And then maybe lift your right leg, bend your knee, step your foot behind you. Feel free to drop your ear to the floor. And just enjoy the stretch. So even if you didn't get into some of those arm balances and core and arm postures, just know that it's not necessarily important that you did or did not do it today. What's important is that you showed up to practice and you did your best. Untwist. Switch sides. Take your right arm to the right, palm flat, shoulder back. Roll onto your outer right hip. Scoot hips forward. Lift your left leg, bend your knee, and step your foot behind you. Maybe drop your ear to the floor. Untwist. Come back to center. And then lie on your right side. Take your right arm way out in front of your mat. And then get as much of a stretch on your outer armpit as you can, and then bend your elbow to take your head into your right hand. Try to scoot your hips a little more forward so that your hips, shoulders, feet are in line. Then do pull your ribs back, tone your abdomen here. You can stay like this, fingertips on the floor for balance, or take your left arm along your left side. Endless pose variation. It takes a great deal of core strength to hold yourself up if you are indeed in one straight line between your feet, hips, and shoulders. Take your hand to the floor. You can either roll on your back or on your belly to switch sides. And then take your left arm straight off in front of your mat. Get yourself a big armpit stretch. Then place your head into your left hand. Then from here, you can stay, scooting your hips a little forward to get more sideways, or take your right arm along your thigh. If you need to take your hand to the floor for more balance, feel free to do so. Just do your best. And then lower your hand to the floor. Let your head go and roll onto your back. Bend your knees so that your ankles and your knees are together. Then from here, pull your right knee toward your chest. From inside your leg, grab your right big toe, first two fingers and thumb. Push your foot into your hand into your foot, and work your right leg towards straight. It doesn't have to straighten. Push foot into hand into foot. Then extend your left leg straighter along your mat. Maybe take your left arm and reach toward your left thigh. And reach length through both arms, both legs, and the top of your head. Supta Padangusthasana. Hands to big toes pose. Slowly open your right leg to the right. Push foot into hand into foot. Keep your left knee and toes pointing straight up, and your left fingers reaching toward your left toes. Slowly lift your leg back up. Take forehead to knee for one breath. And then lower back down. Right foot flat on the floor, knee bent. Pull your left knee towards you. From inside your leg, grab big toe. Push fingers into toe, toe into fingers. Do or don't straighten your left leg. Reach your right arm along your right thigh. Do or don't straighten your right leg. Point right toes and kneecaps straight up. Left toes and kneecaps straight down. Reach through both legs and both arms. Slowly open, left leg to the left, aiming the outer edge of your foot toward the floor. Keep the length in your arms, your legs, reaching through the top of your head. Slowly take your leg back up, forehead to knee, one breath. Lower back down. Take your legs straight. Take your arms over your head along the floor. Hook your thumbs. Reach through your fingertips. Reach through your heels and pull your ribs toward the floor as you lengthen the sides of your body longer. Take a few slow, really deep breaths. Try to expand your rib cage really wide. And separate your hands. Take your arms back to like cactus arms. Palms point up. Take your feet as wide as your mat, knees bent. Pick up your hips and just scoot them a little to your left as you drop your knees to your right. And place the sole of your right foot to the top of your left thigh. Push foot into leg, leg into foot. And maybe grab your left wrist with your right hand to pull up. This will help stretch your deep abdominal muscles and hip flexors after all that hard work we did. Switch sides, let go of your wrist and your foot. Lift your knees up, scoot your hips a tad to the right. Let your knees fall to your left. Hook left foot to right thigh, push foot into leg, leg into foot, extend through your knee. Grab your right wrist, pull up. Create as much length on the right front side of your abdomen as possible. Unhook your foot and your wrist. Come back up, hips to center. And from inside your legs, grab outside your feet. The pose we've all been waiting for. Happy baby. Push your feet into your hands, hands into your feet. Maybe tap one knee at a time to the floor, or bring both knees to the floor at the same time. Maybe bend and straighten your knees. You can also work your legs all the way to straight, so you're out like a V for reclined Upavishta Konasana. Do whatever your body is asking you to do. The best part about doing an extremely difficult class is they tend to give us the best Shavasanas. Wrap your arms around your legs. Feel free to stay here for a few breaths, a few moments, and eventually make your way into your rest. Feel free to rest on your back, belly, side, legs at the wall, or seated. Take a full breath in, and as you exhale, let it out with a sigh. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes, roll your wrists and your ankles. Whenever you feel ready, pull your knees toward your chest and roll to one side. Gently press yourself back to seated, or you can stay on your back. Paraphrased, the Dalai Lama was saying that we can gain the most often out of the most difficult things that we do. So when we do difficult things, it helps us to become better and grow stronger. Even if we don't succeed in our task, we are working towards strengthening ourselves to getting to be able to do that task eventually. So it's all about progress. Feel free to join your palms in front of your heart for one final Om. Take a full breath in. Exhale completely. Inhale again. Feel free to place your hands on your heart. Take a moment here to acknowledge yourself, each other, this practice, and anyone or anything else. Take as much time as you need and gently enter into the rest of your day. Thank you all so much for practicing with me today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.